Okay, hi everybody. I'm still wearing the same clothes and I still have my hair braided, but we are on to step 2. This is the most important part of our events. This is the preparation that we do before the events and how we go through the events. So the first thing we're going to talk about is our script. Your script is the most important thing that you carry. Even as you get comfortable doing these parties, you still want to use a script. And the reason for that is so that people watching you don't think that you've memorized everything, because that can be overwhelming for them. And they're going to say, I can't remember all that stuff. I'm not going to join this team. So even if you need to read it or not, and don't feel bad about reading it at any time, it helps you to lean on something if you're feeling a little nervous, and it really helps the people see that anybody can do this business. So I'm just going to go through the list of the supplies that you need. Of course, this is backwards for you, and we'll just go through each thing and say why we need it and what I can do to help you make it easier for you. So the first thing is catalogs. Now, everybody knows they need to get catalogs, and you need to have enough catalogs at your event so that everybody can take one home if they choose to. Now, that doesn't always happen, but you want to be prepared for that. And you don't want people sharing catalogs. So make sure you always have an abundance of catalogs. And what I always do with mine is I create this sticker here, and it has my name, Arbonne Independent Consultant, my phone number, my work personal email, my Gmail, and then my Arbonne website link. And I stick that on there. And the reason for that is, let's say somebody takes this home from a party, and they bring it to work, and they put it on the coffee table in the break room, and somebody goes through this and says, oh gosh, I want to order a product. How do I order and who do I order from? Here they can see who the consultant is, and they can contact you, and you will still get that sale. Super important to have your name on each one of these. Okay, the next thing is the fizz sticks in a water bottle. So what I do is you can either use the large Arbonne water bottles that a lot of people have, and I don't have one sitting here with me, or you can just use a regular water bottle. Before the event, pour in your fizz sticks of each flavor so you have them ready to go. A lap board. Now, what is a lap board? Some people call these clipboards. Some people call them lap boards. I like this one, which is linked in the supplies needed on Amazon. So I like this because it has a back to it where you can put a little bit about the business, this form here. Should they be a host? Should they be a consultant? And this is a big trigger for a lot of people, knowing what the financial impact could be for their family. So that's a super important piece to have. And you're going to talk about it during your event so that they can look at it as well. On here as well is your ASVP pack sheet. Let's see if I can get this out here. It looks like this. It's two-sided. That has all the Arbonne Special Value Packs, which you're going to talk about during your event, the best way for people to get order products. The next one is the order form. On here, we also have the guest profile, and it's a front and a back sheet. And remember, this is what you want them to fill out prior to starting the event, because sometimes people get going in the event, they forget to sign it or fill it out, or they don't want to fill it out, and then you have no way to follow up. So make sure that you do that. Make sure you also have the Discover Arbonne page. Now, this is for the second Wednesday of the month at the Mercedes dealership in Maplewood. We always have it on that date. It's a set date ahead of time. So if people want to come and learn more about the business, this is a great way to do it. And you can talk about this a little bit in your event, and then they can take those home. You also always want to have a business card. Oh my gosh, mine fell out. Well, I'm not prepared, am I? Okay, a business card, and a business card that has your picture on it. I don't even know what I did with it, but here's my business card with a picture on it. So make sure, the reason you want something with a picture on it is so that people can go, oh yeah, I recognize her, I remember who she is, instead of just hearing a name, and they might forget your name very quickly. So you want to have your business card in there as well. Okay, the next thing is the RE9 face and nutrition sets. So now I'm just going to bend down here for a second. This is my box that I take to events. It looks like this, and I'm going to talk about what's in there. But the biggest thing is that people are watching you. They're watching to see if it's something they can do. So if you come into their house with 3 boxes and one of those little wheelie dollies and purses and bags hanged all over your shoulder, and you're setting up and it takes you 30 minutes to set up, and you're breaking down, it takes you 30 minutes to break down, A lot of people don't have time for that. A lot of people don't want to have time for that, and they don't feel like that is as much product as they really want to have. So make sure you keep it simple. You should be in and out one trip, 2 max. Now that we do the foot scrubs, it can get a little bit dicey with getting it all in one box. You can get a bigger box and try to fit it all in there, or one small box and 2 bags over your shoulders, but really try to do it with one trip. Okay, the RE9 set. Now you want to always have the RE9 set at an event. And I always keep it in my gold bag so I can keep all the pieces together. You can see that everything fits in here, no problem. I also always have an extra one because if somebody is not ready to pull the trigger on a ASVP pack, they feel like it's too much or they want to really try the products, you can send them home with these and they can try it for 3 to 4 days. I love to send them home with the full size items instead of the little sample packs. And then you have a way to meet up with them, number one, to get your bag back, and then you can get the sale with that. If they're just trying a sample pack and they throw it in a drawer or don't answer your call, you have really no way to follow up with them. So full size, always good. And what I have in here is also, along with the regular RE9 set, I have the lifting and contouring eye creams. I recommend that you have both of these along with the regular eye cream so that you have the products that people want to try. Along here too is the Cellular Renewal Mask, and that's something that you talk about at your parties. You're welcome to give people samples of that, or you can just talk about it. Or again, you could sample this out and you always have an excuse to follow up. So you want to make sure you have all of those. After a party, make sure you clean these and get these set up. It's very important to have your box cleaned and ready to go for your next party after this party. Don't wait until right before you have another party to clean it, because then you get, caught in time and you get busy and you forget to do it. So always have that cleaned right after your party. The other thing is the nutrition set. And what I did to make it super easy is I just took a box from Arbonne and I put the nutrition set in here. I packed the bottom with some newspaper and put some raffia on it. And all of these are mostly empty. These are empty because they get too heavy when you're carrying them all in, and really nobody's going to get a sample of the powder. They might want to look at the ingredients. They don't need a sample. I do keep a few samples of the Fizz Sticks in here, along with the Digestion Plus. But remember, Digestion Plus cannot get too hot or it'll get hard, and you definitely don't want these products getting old. So make sure you're circulating them. If you're using them from your personal, take some from your personal stock, put them in here and take these out and use them. So you always want to have fresh product. Now the RE9, that doesn't happen as much because you're going through that product on a regular basis, but make sure that if you're not doing regular parties that you're also turning that in. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll need one of my own toners, let's say. So I'll buy a toner, I'll put it in my bag for events, and I'll take that toner out and use that. So you're always having fresh product. The Fiber Boost is an extra one. I do keep a little bit of Fiber Boost in there because I want people to be able to smell it to show that it's odorless and tasteless, or very minimal taste and odor. So that's the box there. What I also make sure I bring to events is the fit kit. So then if people are, gosh, I'd really like to try these things, but I'm not ready to buy a whole pack, or I'm not ready to invest in a 30-day yet. I'd like to sample these. There's a different video that tells you how to put these together. Here they are right here. And I have a few of those with me as well so that I can give them to people if they talk about wanting to, wanting to possibly do the 30-day but are not quite ready to do it. So we can sample that out. The Rescue and Renew set, that's the new spa line, and you need to have every single one of those. Your sponsor will tell you exactly what you need, but I put my name and a sticker on here so that I know whose it is. Sometimes we have multi-consultant events, and that gets a little dicey on whose products are whose. But this is the whole spa line. Make sure you have those. You can also, if you're doing an event that isn't going to do face washes, because we do events according to what people want, you can always use a scrub of this line instead of the face wash at the sink in the very beginning, okay? Washcloths and towels. Now I talked about this a little bit in step 1, but it's very important that you have your own washcloths and towels. If you're doing a lot of events, make sure you buy extra. I buy like a 10-pack at Walmart. Always buy white so you can bleach them if people get eye makeup or lipstick or anything on it, so that you don't have to throw it away. Oh, excuse me. I also provide headbands. Now you can get these on Amazon as well. They're super cheap for a 10-pack. I keep them sealed until somebody uses them, and then I do wash them and recycle them. So otherwise, you know, people can take them, keep them, doesn't matter because they're not that expensive. Your calendar. Of course, you want to have your calendar, and you want to have your calendar not on your phone, but in a format that people can look at it. So you want to have a whole month view. You've knocked out all the non-negotiables, and you can even do a colored square around times that you want to put events in your calendar. So people can look at that at a glance when they're at your booking table and fill those in very quickly. Do not forget your calendar. That's probably one of the most important things. Crackers, mineral oils, and bowls. Now, I got bowls at Goodwill. They're like this. They don't have to look like this by any stretch. They just want to be clear so that people can see what's in them and not have to look through the top. So these were super cheap, and that's super easy. I like to use Ritz crackers. I think they work the best. I have seen other consultants use other crackers that work fine as well. I'm a Ritz girl. And then with your mineral oil, you want to make sure you just buy plain, cheap mineral oil. You don't buy anything with aloe in it or scents or anything like that. Buy the generic cheap one. And when you fill these up, honestly, some people will go and then fill them up to here. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is enough to cover the cracker. So just a very short line at the bottom, one with water, one with mineral oil. Your sponsor will help you if you don't know what that is. Goodie bags. Now, goodie bags are definitely a personal thing. I think as you build your business and you get more financially secure in what you're doing, goodie bags are a great thing, but they aren't absolutely necessary. And sometimes I've done it where everybody at the party gets a goodie bag. Sometimes I've done it like when you're booking at my table, I have this little bin here full of goodie bags, and you can pick one. You can do it either way. It's totally up to you, and there's no wrong or right answer. But what you do is you fill it, make sure you always put your business card. Here's another one. And then I just put a couple things in there. So there's a tea bag in this one. There is the Arbonne Intelligence in here, and then a chew. So very little things. You could do a fizz stick. You could do other samples that you like, whatever you're feeling like. Different ones have different items in it. This one has the cellular renewal mask, so you can, but I always do a tea bag and a fizz. It gives them a little bit of a taste of the different lines that we have and something that they didn't try at the party. Okay, then for the penny game, make sure you have pennies. Make sure you have lots of pennies because sometimes people get very, very competitive at this. So make sure you have lots of pennies, and if people end up keeping pennies, you want to make sure you have those too. So some pennies, and what I like to do for whoever wins the penny game is do a little extra gift. Now you can do anything you want again, and again, this is not mandatory. It just helps people have a little bit of fun, and then they can try something, and you can always follow up, and that's really what Arbonne is about, is getting these products in the hands of other people. So this one here has a body polish that was left over from the holiday line, so I put that in there. You could use a hand lotion, you could use really anything. When I first started, I did samples. I had bought some samples. I didn't have any other things, so I did that. Some people like to do a small hand lotion and go to the dollar store and buy those little fuzzy slippers or socks. You can buy a whole bunch of those for super cheap. And then I have a lip balm in this one, a shea butter lip balm. But again, you don't have to do that. You could do just the lip balm and then go to the dollar store and pick out a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't have to be Arbonne related. I personally like it to be because then I can always follow up with people. And make sure you're noting who got the gift because that's another big thing. And again, always the business card. Okay, mirrors. Now, I used to have very big mirrors and I realized that was just too much to carry around. So I got these, I think at Walmart. And they're nice because they bend, you can clean them. They have a magnified side and a regular side, and they're not expensive. And they fold up flat, so you can just throw them in your bin. Super easy. Samples of the cellular renewal mask. That is something we talk about in the script. It is not an absolute. Because we're going to do the spa line mask, some people like to do the cellular renewal mask. If you do not have samples to hand out to people, you want to kind of skip that part in your script. Protein shaker cups and protein. So before the party, when you're at home, you want to blend protein. I do like 1 scoop with some almond milk. And why do we do almond milk? Because people who use whey are used to the creamier texture, and they get a little weird sometimes with the protein if it's just shaken in a cup with water. So I blend it with my Magic Bullet, put it in the fridge, and bring it with along with the fizz sticks. Do your taste, you know what it should taste like, so you can make sure that you have the ratio correctly. And remember, you're not bringing a huge shake. I just bring those orange shaker cups because everybody's just getting a little taste. And you want to make sure you have the small cups. Where am I? Oh, right here. You could use Dixie cups. You can use these cups. Again, these are probably from Walmart, where you can get a whole 300 or something. You can even use the smaller ones. And what I also like to do is reuse cups. So I always pour the vanilla first, let them sample it, and then try the chocolate on top of it because it doesn't really change. If you did the chocolate first, the vanilla would taste chocolatey, right? So that's why we do it that way. Protein bars, we talked about that in step 1 of the party. I bring 1 of the chocolate and 1 of the cranberry. I like to cut them up ahead of time. You can put them in a Ziploc bag. I've seen some people put them in those individual with the snap-on lid. You don't have to buy that if you don't want to. I have a cute little plate, I think you saw in the first video, that I put them on, and then when you're walking around handing them, or you're putting them on the table for people to sample. You want to make sure that people can sample those. Curiosity packs and hostess booking sheets. So Curiosity Packed on how to make those are in another video, so I'm not going to go through that right now. But you make sure that you always have these with you at your closing table. Because if people are interested in taking a peek at the business, this is the first product that we give them. So you make sure you have a few of these in your bag. The party booking sheet looks like this. It has, the names, the event, and what I like about it is it already talks about their benefits at the top, a little statement from yourself, and then what they can do for their party. So when somebody at the booking table books their event, you fill this out and you hand it to them. And it's kind of like a confirmation so that they just don't book something and then not do it. So this is a good form to have, and I keep those in a little folder with me. The Dixie cups we already talked about. Pens, of course, make sure that you have enough pens, that you're not asking your hostess for some pens. That's super embarrassing, so don't do that. Foot soak basins. Those are linked, what I purchased on Amazon in the supplies. Make sure you have sturdy ones. Make sure you don't have ones that you lift it up and it starts to buckle in. You want to invest in really good ones. So you only have to invest once and then be done with them. Make sure after your party, you're washing them with soap and water in case there's anybody with anything that's contagious. We certainly don't want to pass it on to the next people. So make sure you're really washing those well. The headbands we went through, the hostess gift. So make sure that when you go to an event, you have your hostess gift. Everybody gets 1 free gift. What it is completely up to you. I like to do the scrub a lot because it's a very good cross portion of what people like. It's not specific to one certain group of people. You can do that. I put it in a little bag, put some green raffia in it, and tie it really cute and hand it to them at the beginning in front of everybody so everybody can see that they get a free gift. The booking game, so the envelopes, the pennies, and the cards. That's going to also be in another video you can watch. The video that I have linked here also has products that they can take if they say they're going to book. So watch that. You don't have to have a product in there, but it does help incentivize people. We talked about the prize for the booking game and all the sample packs. So it's really important, and you'll see right underneath here that you get to know the products. You cannot sell anything or really talk about anything that you haven't tried yourself. I always tell everybody they should try the 30-day, run through it at least once so you can understand what people are going through when they've done it. If you don't do it, how can you coach it yourself? But the most important thing is you don't have to read every single thing that is on there. For example, the detox wash, let's just say for example. It features ginger, grapefruit, essential oils, hydrates, and replenishes moisture to help continued softening and smoothing of your skin. So you don't have to say both of those if you don't want to. You can piece it a little bit. You can say, oh my gosh, it smells wonderful. It features ginger and grapefruit and really helps keep your skin soft and smooth. Something like that, okay? And then you always want to say why you personally love it. So if you haven't tried it, that's a little difficult, right? So we want to make sure you've tried it. So I put some examples in there because if you've started and you're not quite using these products yet, you can always use the one that I've put in here. So I put for this one, I love it because the grapefruit essential oil improves overall mood and positive energy. And you can say something like, I love it because the smell of it is just uplifting and makes me happy. Something as easy as that, okay? There are different things in here about the Genius. Make sure you have a Genius. If you haven't been able to purchase one yet, they're $99 currently. A great investment for you and your business. The other point I want to make too is that if you are using products out of your kit for your parties, make sure you put a sticky note on it when you take it out so that when you take your bin to go, you can say, oh, I took out the Genius. Oh, I took out the Gillette or whatever it is, and you can put it back in so you don't get to a party and not have the products that you need. That's just not professional, so we want to make sure we always have what we need. And we don't want to get to something and go, oh gosh, when somebody asks for something, oh gosh, I don't have it. Really important. And again, same thing with the Genius. You want to do before and after pictures. If you're a new consultant, you really want to do before and after pictures of the 30-day and of the anti-aging line so that people want to see real people results. So if you show them your results, that's huge. And some people are like, well, gosh, before with no makeup on and blemishes on my skin, I don't want anybody to see that. That is the best picture ever because you're going to take a second picture with none of that, and that's what you can be proud of. So make sure you do before and afters, and you have those available for people to see. Along with those, some extras that I like to have, and these are not requirements, but I think through doing this long enough that I can see what people really like to see. The first one is the mineral oil sheet, and that is what we're really talking about in Arbonne Events is our ingredients policy and how it's different than everybody else. And people don't understand why mineral oil is not good for you. So here is an ingredients list after we explain the mineral oil with the crackers. All the different terms that people, companies have used and changed so that people don't know the word is mineral oil. So this is very interesting. A lot of people really like to look at it. This is the free PC gift list. This comes from the source, so you can easily print it out. And I like to have this big like this so people can choose their products. I have this at the close table because remember, if somebody purchases $150 in product as a preferred client for their first time, they get a free product that they can pick from. And it's not any free product, it's off of this list. These are our best sellers. I like to have the Genius sheet on how to use it. These are the steps on how to use it. If somebody forgets and I'm going around helping people, because I usually have like 3 or 4 Geniuses going at a time. If you have just one, you can help people do it themselves. So that's the other thing that I like to have. I also really like to have the 30-day book. And it's something you can purchase. It used to be that it came for everybody in when they started the 30-day and they stopped doing that. They can print it off. But I really like this, put that in the back of your bin of your 30-day and people can look through this. I like this a lot. Okay, I think we've gone through everything. I'm just looking down here to make sure I haven't missed anything. Nope, I think not. So let's just go through this one more time. And again, you can see this script as it is. And oops, I'm talking so long, I lost my computer access. There we go. Okay, this is what people see. They see it like this, so you want it to look professional. I print this on cardstock. I have it printed. I fold it and I tape it together and I get one of these little clips. You absolutely don't want to be at a party with these open full sheets of paper falling on the ground or you're stapled and you're pulling them over. This I think looks real professional and it's easy to carry around. And you're doing your script so much that you want it to be sturdy and to be able to go on for quite some time until we change it again on you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go through is closing, and I hope that this was really educational for you and it answered any questions. Please reach out to your sponsor if you do have questions or something in here was confusing for you. Okay, thank you.